Okay, we are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Steel City Sports Report. What a wild ending to the NHL trade deadline we just witnessed. So just to recap, since the last time we spoke, I logged off. It was Cody Glass getting traded from the Pittsburgh Penguins to the New Jersey Devils. Now, ladies and gentlemen, since that time, the Boston Bruins traded Brad Marchand to the Florida Panthers. We are still waiting for a return on that trade, but that is not the trade I want to talk about. That is not the Boston Bruins trade that I want to talk about. The Boston Bruins also traded defenseman Brandon Carlo to the Toronto Maple Leafs for forward Fraser Minton and a first-round pick. And the Pittsburgh Penguins are also involved in this trade some way, somehow. They are also getting Connor Timmins and Connor Dewar. So a pair of Connors coming to the Pittsburgh Penguins right now. Defenseman Connor Timmins and forward Connor Dewar. That is most likely going to be a retention. Penguins eating some of Brandon Carlo's salary. I have to look up his contract here. See how much the Penguins are going to be retaining here. So looking here, you have Connor Dewar. Dewar this season for the Toronto Maple Leafs. 31 games played, only 3 assists, a -3. He's going to be a fourth-line guy. He is 25 years old, so he's going to be a fourth-line scrapper for the Pittsburgh Penguins. So Connor Dewar coming back in this trade. Brandon Carlo to the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Bruins get back prospect forward Fraser Minton and a first-round pick. Penguins are getting Connor Dewar, and they're also getting defenseman Connor Timmins. Timmins this year for the Toronto Maple Leafs played in 51 games. He has 8 points, 2 goals, 6 assists, a +2 rating, right shot defenseman. So there is your right shot defenseman below Erik Karlsson and Chris Letang. Timmins, also a young player, 26 years old. He comes over. So the Penguins, with a late deadline at the buzzer beater, they are thrown into this Maple Leafs deal. Also, some other trades going on here at the deadline. The Chicago Blackhawks get a 6th-round pick for the contract of Shea Weber. Or excuse me, that is the Utah Hockey Clubs acquires Shea Weber's contract and 2 prospects for a 6th-round pick. Henry Jokiharju, he is going to the Boston Bruins. Again, the Bruins right now, woof. In 10 minutes, their entire organization just imploded. Probably noteworthy here, Connor Timmins was just in Vegas with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they play in Colorado tomorrow. So there's your play, ladies and gentlemen. Connor Dewar and Connor Timmins, they right now are in Colorado, so they should be in the lineup for the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight, assuming all goes well. Probably also noteworthy here, Matt Vensel points out Connor Timmins, the Pens and Leafs just played last Sunday. Connor Timmins scored in that game against the Penguins. Still ironing out some details here. Eric Johnson for Giovanni Smith between the Avalanche and Flyers. Again, just pointing out here, that is right now the final move that the Penguins made at the trade deadline. They acquired Connor Timmins and Connor Dewar. They did not trade any of Matt Grzelcyk, Rickard Rakell, Erik Karlsson, Noel Acciari. All of those men are still Pittsburgh Penguins after this wild ending to the 3 p.m. trade deadline. Another late deal here, Eric Brandstrom going from the New York Rangers to the Buffalo Sabres for right winger Nick Obey-Kubel. Just an absolutely insane ending to the day here. Penguins getting Connor Timmins. He has a $1.1 million AAV. Connor Dewar, a $1.18 million AAV. So the Penguins aren't taking on a ton of money in either of those two contracts. Crazy ending here. Connor Dewar heading to the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is a part of the Brandon Carlo to the Toronto Maple Leafs for Fraser Minton and a first round pick deal. Penguins are going to be getting some Penguins are going to be retaining some salary here. Matt Grzelcyk still a Penguin. It is confirmed. Rickard Rakell still a Penguin. It was getting close there near 3 p.m., ladies and gentlemen. Rakell talks between the Penguins and the Carolina Hurricanes picked up extremely quickly. Rickard Rakell almost sent to the Carolina Hurricanes, from my understanding. Once again here, Connor Dewar, a 26-year-old Connor Timmins here, a 26-year-old right-handed defenseman, Canadian, born in St. Catharines, Ontario. Two guys who come from Toronto. Of course, Connor Timmins was a Kyle Dubas acquisition back when Dubas was the general manager in Toronto, so he gets one of his guys plus Connor Dewar. I think Connor Dewar was there when Dubas was still in Toronto as well, so Dubas gets two of his guys. Timmins this year, 8 points in 51 games, a +2 rating in his career, 142 games. He's been with the Colorado Avalanche and the Arizona Coyotes, and most recently the Toronto Maple Leafs. In his career, 142 games, 39 points, a +12 rating. So a guy who is on the positive side of this. Again, that game in Vegas, the Leafs were just in Vegas. Both of these players were just in Vegas, where the Penguins are playing tonight. And they lost that game 2-5 or 5-2. And they were now most recently in Colorado right now. So probably going to be getting them on the fastest way of transportation possible to Vegas right now from Colorado. Again, 4 of you in here right now. Thank you for joining me. Again, a wild ending. Another trade that I forgot to pop up here. Fabian Zetterlund, Tristan Robbins, and a 4th-round pick going to the Ottawa Senators for Noah Gregor, Zach Astapchuk, and a 2nd-round pick. So a little bit of a noteworthy deal there between the San Jose Sharks and Ottawa Senators. Again, Connor Timmins and Connor Dewar on their way from Colorado to Vegas right now to join the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Penguins probably in on this Brandon Carlo deal to retain money on Carlo's contract. Let me, in fact, do this real quick. Let me go here. Again, the Penguins right now, nowhere near contention. They are probably, it's going to be no issue for them retaining salary. I believe last time I checked, they had $12 million in cap space as it stood. And yeah, Brandon Carlo right now is in year 4 of a 6-year extension. He is making $4.1 million per year. So he is making that this year and then the next 2 seasons as well. It'll be interesting to see where the Penguins, how much money off of that contract they retain. Let me go here to the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Toronto Maple Leafs right now. Let's look at this. Okay. Assuming that this is all up to date after all the moves right now, the Leafs currently are currently over the cap by a little over $2 million. So you wonder if someone from them is going to go to long-term IR. to free up some of that space. So maybe you're looking at, I mean, Connor Timmins and Connor Dewar, they're not groundbreaking additions. So I wonder, I don't think this is going to be a case in which the Penguins retain half of Carlo's salary. That'd be very little compensation to take on that much money. But then again, it doesn't really matter right now. The Penguins aren't contending right now, and they've got the space to do it. But again, it's a good deal for the Penguins' sake, because right now tonight in Vegas, after trading Luke Shen, Anthony Beauvillier, and Cody Glass this afternoon, they have really no room for anybody to miss tonight's game. Out in Vegas, they would go in shorthanded. Now they're going to probably have Connor Timmins, a right shot, third pair defenseman. You'll probably see him paired with, I believe, Ryan Graves, if I had to guess. And then you'll have Connor Dewar. He'll probably be on the fourth line with Blake Lizotte and Noel Acciari. Again, Noel Acciari, Matt Grzelcyk, Ricard Raquel, Erik Karlsson. Those four players who have been speculated to possibly get traded by the Penguins today. Those guys are staying in the black and gold. Let me refresh Twitter here now that it's been a couple of minutes, waiting for what the Penguins did. Daniel Sprong, another late addition. Daniel Sprong going to the New Jersey Devils. So the Devils, after losing Jack Hughes for the season with shoulder injury, they add two Penguins, and in fact, that's crazy though. So the New Jersey Devils today, or I should say over the last 24 hours, after losing Jack Hughes, their star forward, best player on their team, to a shoulder injury for the rest of the year, they go out and they add three former Penguins. Brian Dumoulin they brought in last night. They brought in Cody Glass from the Penguins earlier this afternoon for a third-round pick, and now they are getting Daniel Sprong, who I believe was last with the Kraken, if I remember correctly. But yeah, anyway, Twitter is just a buzz right now with the news of Brad Marchand getting traded to the Florida Panthers, Brandon Carlo going to the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Bruins. I mean, as much as you want to say it, for the Pittsburgh Penguins, it was a slow burn from mediocrity into the basements of the league where you're bidding for a first overall pick. For the Bruins, it was just like a neck snap. It was that. You're done. Charlie Coyle, gone. Brad Marchand, gone. Brandon Carlo, gone. I don't know who else the Bruins sold off today, but they just hit the reset button like that, and lots of backlash from Don Sweeney, their general manager. I was watching Spit and Chicklets game notes, and I mean, Mike Grinelli just absolutely losing his mind right now. And I mean, the backlash for their general manager, Don Sweeney, is warranted. I mean, if you're going to trade your two top guys, I mean, they did a good job, I think, with the Charlie Coyle trade. They sent him out west to the Colorado Avalanche, where he's not going to be their problem. And in return, they get back Casey Middlestat, who, can be a filler until, some of your prospects, until like somebody else fills that spot. And you also got, I believe, a last guy with the last name Zealers, who's a pretty good prospect for the Colorado Avalanche. But if you're the Boston Bruins, you just traded Brad Marchand and Brandon Carlo. That's bad enough. But you traded them to the Florida Panthers, who have become one of your biggest rivals and have had your number in playoffs for a while now. You traded Marchand there. We're still waiting for the compensation on that. We don't even know what they got for Marchand yet, who I believe will be a free agent at the end of the year. And then also you traded Brandon Carlo to one of your hated rivals for your entire franchise's existence in the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's even more crazy. At least they got back one of the Maple Leafs' two top prospects in Fraser Minten. It was kind of, if you're going to trade Carlo there, you got to get back Minten or Easton Cowan. So they at least got that and a first-round pick back for Carlo. Again, the Penguins taking on getting Connor Timmins and Connor Dewar. They should be in the lineup tonight. Waiting here for more details on this trade. Again, this Dewar and Timmins, I see them as a replacement for Luke Shen and Cody Glass or Anthony Beauvillier, who got traded earlier today. You'll probably still hear Tony Androkidis points out on Twitter. You'll still see guys from Wilkes-Barre be able to come up and be a part of this Penguins team. I think it's an easy slam dunk decision that you're going to see Charlie Coyle in a Penguins uniform by the next time you see the Penguins in action, besides tonight. So, excuse my phone there. So, yeah, now I think it's, as the end, the Penguins got 13, maybe 14, or excuse me, I believe they got 16, maybe 17 draft picks in this at this deadline as of right now. I believe I saw it 17 picks in the first 3 rounds over the next handful of years. Mikey Granelli from Spit and Chick has just posted, might be just a conditional second round pick for Marchand. Oh my goodness. That would be absolutely hilarious. If it's just a second round pick for Marchand, that would be crazy. Excuse me here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'm back now. So yeah, just waiting to see what salary the Penguins retained on this. And I mean, just look at this. This right here is insane, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be an insane, as much as I, hate Crosby missing the playoffs for the Pens, it is going to be an insane playoffs in the NHL. You have the Central Division loaded up: Colorado, Dallas, Winnipeg. Yeah, those teams loaded up. Edmonton's going to be in it. Vegas is going to be in it. I wonder what Vegas shockingly did not do anything, because they ominously tweeted out with about 10 minutes to go before the deadline, just high. So you thought Vegas was going to, come in flying in off the top rope there at the end with a big move. But, I mean, looking here, you got the 2 Florida teams back on the Eastern Conference. You got the 2 Florida teams. Listen to this here. The potential power play 1 for the Florida Panthers: Sam Reinhart, Alexander Barkov, Brad Marchand, Sam Bennett, and Aaron Ekblad. I think you can take Bennett out of there, swap him in with Carter Verhaeghe. But what an insane ending to the day here. Again, still just waiting on the return, the full deal here for the Pittsburgh Penguins being in on this Brandon Carlo deal. And also, if you have seen it, please let me know. There was also rumor in the Cody Glass trade earlier today. It was Glass for a 3rd round pick, but there was also speculations that there was a minor league swap of minor league players in that trade, and we did not see that at all. So, have not seen anything on that yet. Again, looking at this again, it was reported at the deadline at around 3 p.m. Apparently, Chris Johnston of TSN said the Hurricanes and Penguins are closing in on a Rickard Rakell deal. I heard that was fake, but I am very intrigued if there was a conversation, what all the Penguins were going to get back in that move if they did decide to move on from Raquel. Nothing yet. Seeing a whole bunch of John Cena and Rock memes with Matthew Tkachuk and Brad Marchand's face over it. Sam Bennett there too. Again, Connor Timmins here coming to the Penguins, a third pairing defenseman who puts up good underlying numbers in small minutes. I like that fit. Maybe could be, a guy that fits in that role for a few years. Who knows? It would be nice for him to really find a place here in Pittsburgh, playing behind Erik Karlsson and Chris Letang. Waiting to hear back more. Again, I expect to see here in the next hour that, Dewar and Timmins are on their way to Vegas. They'll be in the lineup tonight. And another thing here, but I'm going to, tune into this once I log off here. Penguins general manager Kyle Dubas will be addressing the media. That'll probably be streamed live on YouTube off the Penguins YouTube channel here around 4:55, I think is when they said Dubas will be addressing the media. Be interesting tuning in to see what he says. And Mike Grinnell being told it's just a conditional second-round pick for Brad Marchand that could turn into a first. That is insane. So the Bruins, when it's all said and done, got a first-round pick, a second-round pick, and Fraser Minton for both Brandon Carlo and Brad Marchand. So, doesn't look like we're going to be seeing the salary retention on the Brandon Carlo, Connor Timmins, Connor Dewar coming to Pittsburgh deal. It doesn't look like we're going to see that. 5 of you in here right now. I'd appreciate it if you like and share this stream. Feel free to comment in the live chat. We can start a conversation that way before I decide to log off here. And also feel free to subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate it very much. Connor Timmins, Connor Dewar coming to the Pittsburgh Penguins from the Toronto Maple Leafs as a part of the Brandon Carlo to Toronto deal from the Bruins for Fraser Minton and a first-round pick. Looking at TSN's trade tracker here, nothing else new came across the line at the wire. So after the Cody Glass trade at 2:23 in the afternoon, you saw the big trades here. Brad Marchand go to the Florida Panthers. Brandon Carlo go to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Henry Jokiharju went from Buffalo to Boston. Fabian Zetterlund, a prospect and a fourth, going to the Ottawa Senators for Noah Gregor, Zach Ostapchuk in a second. And Eric Brandstrom to the Buffalo Sabres for Nick Aubé-Kubel to the Rangers. And now just waiting to see how much money the Pens retained on this Connor Dewar, Connor Timmins deal, who those two will probably be in the lineup tonight against the Vegas Golden Knights. Just what an insane ending to the trade deadline here today. And yeah, I don't think we're going to be getting any update on that, how much money the Pens retained soon. We'll find out probably later tonight, but Kyle Dubas will speak here in about half an hour. We'll get his thoughts on how the trade deadline went. I think it was a success. So when it's all said and done, the Penguins ended up shipping out today forwards Anthony Beauvillier and Cody Glass. Tiny bit shocked that both of them got dealt. I rather would have seen, guys like Kevin Hayes and Nola Chari get dealt, but it is what it is. Those guys were on 1-year deals anyways. And the Pens also offloaded Luke Shen, who they acquired back on Wednesday from the Nashville Predators in the Tommy Novak for Michael Bunting deal. And in return, the Penguins today got a second-round pick, a third-round pick, a fourth-round pick, and now, as you see here, Connor Timmins and Connor Dewar as well. All in all, I give the whole deadline for the Penguins I'll give it a B+. There was obviously room for, other trades to be, to have happened, like Mac Grzelcyk. I don't see why he was kept around. That one confuses me. Maybe there just wasn't a market for him. But also, like I said, you could have dealt Kevin Hayes if you really wanted to. I don't think Rickard Rakell or Erik Karlsson should have been dealt, though you could have gotten a king's ransom for Rakell. So no Rakell deal today. That'll probably be mean he'll stay in Pittsburgh for a little while. Erik Karlsson, I think that trade had no chance of getting done today. That'll probably be something that the Penguins look into the off season. Honestly, I could very easily see, like, if you offload Erik Karlsson, but if you offload Erik Karlsson and retain money on his contract, I can also see the Penguins getting back a good haul, but then also at the same time say, like, hey, the team that's getting Karlsson, you have to take on the contract of Ryan Graves too. At that point, I'd be okay with it. Penguins are in a rebuild, and Karlsson, since coming over to the Penguins a few years ago, hasn't been the Norris Trophy player that we all hoped he would be for the Penguins. Another minor trade here. David Pagnotta right now. The Islanders have traded defenseman Dennis Cholowski to the New Jersey Devils for forward Adam Beckman. A minor league trade there. Nothing to really, worth attention. And yeah, I think that'll do it. So the Penguins send out 3 players, get back 3 picks, and 2 players who should momentarily be on their way from Colorado to Vegas to be in the Pens lineup tonight. We'll get to see Tommy Novak make his Penguins debut tonight. That should be interesting to watch. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me here today throughout these abrupt live streams as the Penguins have made trades, 4 trades in total, 3 players out, 3 picks, and 2 players in. And 5 of you in here right now. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Feel free to like, share, and comment on this live stream. I appreciate you all very much. And please check out my other content as well. There will be a Friday edition of the Steel City Sports Report posted here later on this evening. Probably, if I probably can get that out here within the next hour and a half. We'll see. But until then, thank you very much. Appreciate you all. Thanks for sticking around with me here today, giving me an audience to talk to, and I will see you guys later.